I subscribe at its core is about digital immortality. So it talks about uploading our consciousness, which by the way I call self in the book, into a machine. And I have ignored the ethical questions surrounding this innovative capability, if we ever have that. And this is just to debunk the notion, that humans are unique or something grand in the scheme of things, because we have appointed ourselves as that. So, I have focused instead on the inquisitive query that, would we evolve in the same way as we would biologically if we were to, transfer ourselves into a machine? So yeah, so it's obviously about an alien who believes he can solve human problems, and that's how the whole thing started.
What's your opinion about the Don't Die movement, Ryan Johnson, and what's he trying to achieve? He's looking like a vampire already.
I know there are, and it's not just this book, but in every book of mine, I have kind of, drawn a parallel to, some of these weird people that exist right now and what's going on with them, especially with the reptilian eyes. If you see so many videos out there.
Yes. The moment I read reptilian, I was like, oh, I was spooked.
You won't believe that in Indic mythology also, and otherwise also, there are so many people who claim to have met these reptilian people who live somewhere, I think it's called Middle Earth or something, and they
Yes.
just appear. And so, yeah, I mean, a lot of people claim that they have met them. So, yeah, let's talk about SamVeer, of course. I took a show and tell approach with this character. Of course, one thing is pretty clear, that he's a misanthropist. He hates humans. Of course, even though he has 1/16th of human DNA in him, so he still hates them. And that's only because, you hate what you actually like a lot. I write romance, but then I am writing sexuality is, the mother of all problems. And I'll tell you why. Because it's all about feeling good. It's all about pleasure movement.
Hello, guys. This has been a crazy week for me. I've been reading this book, which delves into sci-fi, AI, spirituality, existentialism. It is a crazy book. It's called I Subscribe, and it's written by PB Flower, who lives in California, and she's an Indian American. She writes. Um, at the core of it, she writes romance, but it is quite mind bending, and it kind of traverses genres. It is at the core of it is a romance sci-fi book, but there are so many elements of how our future will be, how human race will evolve. And we talked about all of this in this podcast. We talked about the current state of AI and the future, how we will look like, humans will look like in the future, how our memories will shape up, will they be preserved for good posterity or not. So many interesting topics we covered in this podcast. Do watch it. Let us know in the comments what do you feel about what we discussed, and do pick up this book. It's available across the globe and in India. Do read it and let us know in the comments what do you think about our conversation and the topics that were discussed during our conversation. It's crazy, guys. Do read it and do watch the entire podcast. It's nothing like what you might have watched or listened to before. Hello, book nerds. Welcome to the Booknerds Podcast. I have had a whirlwind week, and I've been reading this amazing, enigmatic. I'm hard to kind of. It's really hard to define this book, so I'm kind of having a hard time. But we'll kind of try to decipher some of it and talk to the author herself. She's here with us. She's very kind, and her name is PB Flower, and I'll have a question regarding this pen name, I presume, later. But The book at hand is called I Subscribe. As you see, it's right down my alley. I love sci-fi. I love aliens. I don't want to meet them, but I love them nonetheless. But yeah, so I had a gala time. Thank you for writing this book. And so yeah, welcome to the podcast. How are you feeling, and what's happening at your end? Then we'll get into the book per se.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the day is ending over here. I'm in California, but it's been great, and a long weekend is coming up. So we're just happy to unwind. Hopefully, go somewhere. We'll see. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love your attire. It's so
Thank you.
Indian. It's amazing. It's looking amazing. So
Yeah.
yeah, and since this an Indian podcast, why not? You know,
Of
I,
course.
I think I think I should change up. I felt that I should change up and get into something more.
Now, I
I'm very
think
yeah.
it's just that I look for excuses to wear Indian clothes. It's just that, you know.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing because
So,
yeah, even I do because I'm not that great at it, but I'm very near to the amazing spiritual cities of Rishikesh and Haridwar. So
oh,
yeah, I have to be spiritual.
mhm.
It's inside me. I really need to find it more. But yeah, of course, there were some elements of spirituality in the book as well,
Yeah.
and other things amongst other things. Okay, let's start by giving the readers a bit of perspective, although I'll, kind of introduce them to the book nonetheless when I eventually shoot the intro and tell them about it. But they would love to know about what's happening in this book because it's a big universe.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so now that you said, I want to tell the viewers of this podcast that yes, this book is standalone. However, it is an offshoot of the debut trilogy that I had written. And I have tried to, give the perspective around, each character and any terminologies that are there within the book, within the story. But yes, it is an offshoot of the Alkalan trilogy that I had written, which is my debut work. But I Subscribe at its core is about digital immortality. So it talks about uploading our consciousness, which, by the way, I call self in the book, into a machine. And I have ignored the ethical questions surrounding this innovative capability, if we ever have that. And this is just to debunk the notion, that humans are unique or something grand in the scheme of things, because we have appointed ourselves as that. So I have focused instead on the inquisitive query that, would we evolve in the same way as we would biologically if we were to, transfer ourselves into a machine? So yeah, so it's obviously about an alien who believes he can solve human problems, and that's how the whole thing started. But yeah, that's the crux of the book. I don't want to give away too much, but but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a strict no for spoilers on this podcast, but we'll try to circumvent and kind of explore nonetheless
Yeah.
because this is such a relevant topic right now when AI has just hit us, and we are really intrigued. We Everything is changing around us very fast, and in some ways very slow as well because it's kind of dumb right now. But we
Yeah.
think that it's smart. But I'm saying that we are moving in a direction where, like you said, ethics, right?
Yeah.
Ethics have gone out of the window as we speak. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it is because the AI was not introduced to us as it is right now. It was in steps, and it was there. I think the first time that we heard this word was what, like 40, 50 years ago. You won't believe. And in X Files, they even talk about machine, taking over. There's an episode like that. So it's just crazy that it's only now that we have woken up to it, and the idea has been there for a while. And I wrote this book in 2022, actually. So it, so yes, this I mean, this idea has been there, and since it was introduced in steps, we did not realize.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen if we ever, have this capability to put ourselves into a machine. I'm highly doubtful that anybody would protest.
Yeah. Uh, you're so right. You're so right. Looking at what's happening right now, I totally agree.
Yeah,
And this book, kind of, although it's complete fiction novel,
yeah,
but it touches so many relevant and existential topics that I was a bit worried. At the same time I was reading it, and I was a bit worried also, because
yeah.
it was like, do I want to do this to myself? I just wanted to put myself in that position, and as like I felt very existential. Do I love myself that much that I would want me to kind of be relevant 200, 300 years down the line? If am I that important? And what about these Zeptos that are going to come up? There could be a different name to it, but this is going to happen anyways.
Yeah, I know, because Zepto is right now some other company in India. I just found out. So, but it
Okay.
wasn't there when I wrote the book. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, I know that relevance is the thing. I think we all want immortality, and I think more than immortality, we want to stay young and not just immortal. And and I believe that immortality is more relevant, or is an idea for the rich and elite, because they have so much resources. They have so much that they have, that they can enjoy and use and carry on. They have so much. They think, I mean, they think that they have so much to give to the world. So obviously, a person who is suffering is not going to, want him to be immortal.
Yeah.
So it's about these people. And so, yes, I mean, I know that elites right now want biological immortality and not digital immortality. But digital immortality is something which, even we can have now because of social media. Anybody from anywhere is becoming viral.
Yeah.
So they are, in a sense, becoming digitally immortal
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why I said that, don't be surprised if nobody, protests about
Yeah.
this.
I
With
don't think so. No. I don't think so. People will protest because as we speak, there are tools where you can just immortalize yourself digitally
Yeah,
by using AI, and the AI can use can make videos automatically and just be there, and you are just have on a vacation somewhere else. It's so crazy.
it's crazy. And if you've read the book, I have said there, and this was in 2022, that I was writing the book even before that.
Yeah.
So that's when I have written in the book that, how the idea comes up when it is given to these influencers and celebrities, and they are the ones who start that trend. And
Yeah.
it's already happening where they are doing their thing and the AI is taking care of their social media.
it's
So
it's it's absolutely crazy but fascinating and dangerous at the same time. What's your opinion about the don't die movement, Brian Johnson, and what's he trying to achieve? He's looking like a vampire already.
I know there are, and it's not just this book, but in every book of mine, I have kind of, drawn a parallel to, some of these weird people that exist right now
Yeah.
and what's going on with them, especially with the reptilian eyes. If you see so
Yes,
many videos
yes,
out
yes,
there,
yes. The moment I read reptilian, I was like, oh, I was spooked.
you know, um, you won't believe that in Indic mythology also, and otherwise also, there are so many people who claim to have met these reptilian people who live somewhere, I think it's called Middle Earth or something, and they
Yes.
just appear. And so, yeah, I mean, a lot of people claim that they have met them. So
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, the characters are quite fascinating. Let's talk about the protagonist, especially of this book, because uh, uh, SamVeer gets a lot of space in this book.
Mhm.
So, and of course, Athena and Victory. Would you like to talk about this triangle, what's happening, because there is a lot of tension, not only sexual tension, but a lot of tension anyways amongst
Yes,
them.
yes.
Yeah,
So first, I want to clarify that love triangle is,
yeah,
as a rule, present in all my books, in every story, and that's only because we have both good and bad in ourselves. So it's kind of a parallel of that. That one is good, one is bad, and we want both. So, and sometimes we hide the bad because we want to fit in, so we hide it. So that's what it is. That's where the love triangle is coming from. So yeah, let's talk about SamVeer. Of course, I took a show and tell approach with this character. um, of course, one thing is pretty clear, that he's a misanthropist. He hates humans, of course, even though he has 1/16th of human DNA in him. So he still hates them. And that's only because, you hate what you actually like a lot. That, so you have to hate to balance it. It's just a natural feeling that comes within you. So he appears as a stuck up and, self-assured alien, but then he becomes what he hates, embraces what he rejects. He basically stops lying to himself. So that's what it is about. And it's kind of how the character arc is. It goes like that with him, with SamVeer. And Athena, of course, she harbors the biggest fallacy outlined with the words multitasking and ubiquity. It is also seen in computer. In computer, you think it is multitasking, but at the core level, it is not. It cannot. It is just speedily juggling the various processes. And Athena does the same. She manages her dark desires, also puts up a front that our society demands from us to fit in. And Victory depicts, the blatant conflict of our society. She is the, you can call it the smaller scale version of that. She's she unknowingly, follows, we openly critique what we secretly admire. So philosophy. Um, this is because, we have set standards to be met by everyone, and these standards are just too high. We all fall short at some point. So,
absolutely.
and we all know that, and so we point fingers at the others to take the attention away from our shortcomings. And Victory does the same by, dissing Athena every opportunity she gets. So yeah, these are the three main characters in my book.
I must say the entire concept of the book is so fresh. I have never read anything like it. It's amazing, and I think it's you know many authors should kind of take this forward and kind of write more in the sci-fi space, because there's a lack, especially in India. There's a
Yeah,
lack of people writing in the sci-fi space. I know that in the West there are a lot of people writing and experimenting with dystopian fiction and sci-fi as well, but this is a great mix of dystopia and all, so many genres in there. I was just grappling with where do I fit this book in, because it isn't meant to be that, it's just free flowing amongst genres, right?
and I can tell you what I call myself as. I call myself a cerebral sci-fi romance author.
Okay, that's
Yes.
new. That's new for me. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
I need to
you
note
are.
this down, man.
Yeah, please write that down, because it is hard to find such books. If you go in the sci-fi genre written by and romance comes into picture, it immediately turns pornographic, and
Yep.
and or smutty, as they like to say.
Yeah.
It turns smutty,
Yep.
and my book has so much philosophy.
it
It
is
has,
it, it is just, it is so existential. That's why I'm using the word again and again. And That's why I was enjoying it and at the same time worried, because I could see things happen. I could see that this could happen down the line.
yeah.
Anyways, so I enough about me, but these memory frame recordings that you talk about in the book,
Mhm.
it's again, it was like, okay, do I want my memories accessible to people in the future? Will my children really want to know me? What is the access like? Is it private? Is it public? It is private, public, whatever. So a bit about that, because it's crazy. It's a crazy concept.
It is actually, but you know how there's a meme or things floating around where they say, "Before I die, I want to delete my internet history." We always talk about that because we have a dark side. Okay, we we
Yeah,
have
I
a
will be
dark
the first.
side. We Google crazy stuff. So yeah, of course,
Crazy. It's
crazy
crazy, and
stuff.
this is my era of not doing crazy things. Still, I'm doing crazy things on the internet.
Hey, I'm not judging. Okay, no judgments here because I'm the same boat, and I think everybody is.
Yeah.
So the thing is, this memory frames. I was kind of drawing the parallel to how we think that we have a private life, but we don't. Um, and we are again knowingly subscribed to all this, and that's why I have named this book "I Subscribe." We have subscribed knowingly to all these ideas. We have phones. Phone is listening to us all the time, and it's right there with us all the time, like either it's in our pockets or it's on our bedside. So it's always there, so it's always listening. It's always recording somewhere. We have an avatar of ourselves digitally somewhere. So so even though we don't want people to know us that well, they already do. I mean, YouTube is so smart that it can guess what you want to listen next. So, and it'll suggest you that even if you're thinking about it, because it knows what you're going to think next. And that's why I said that we think that we are very unique. We are not. We are very predictable. Yeah. So yeah, as far as memory frames are concerned, I wouldn't want anybody to know what I'm thinking about. Please don't read me. But but it was kind of a thing where I drew it from Rig Veda actually, where it says that memory exists as consciousness, and it is there. Um, Everything is everywhere simultaneously without time restraint.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
The
a direct line.
greatest science. Yeah, the greatest science is in the Vedas, and
Yes.
nobody's reading it right now, but it's in there.
It's there. It's there. All the quantum principles and theories that people are coming up with, it's
Yeah.
already there.
Yeah. And
It's
it's
already there.
just, and the West kind of explores it and says, look at this. We have
Oh,
invented it.
they're filing patents and all that, and I'm like, whatever. Who cares?
But yeah.
Whatever.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, there is a huge element of procreation, and how intimacy will be in the future. And it's although this world, it's very normal. In this world, it's very normal, but perhaps in the real world, how do you think procreation, intimacy, and machines, how will they kind of coexist? What are your predictions? Although I would want the reader to read the book also, but
Yeah.
just your predictions, your thoughts.
Yeah, sure. Um, like I said, I wrote the book in 2022, but now my husband actually sent me something where in Japan they have these dolls, AI dolls, of course, who are available to listen to you, to talk to you. Of course, not for the actual sex part, but they are available to you. So it's already getting there. So it's getting there. So I'm thinking with the humans, we put ourselves, especially women, I'm sorry to say this, we put ourselves on a pedestal. We want men to come and woo us, which is um, ancient now, but we have achieved so much. We're going out, we're working, we think that we are the same as men, and we are. Cerebrally, we are. So in that way, I'm saying that there are a lot of men who don't find love, who don't know how to uh, meet their bodily needs, the biological needs. And I'm
Yeah.
saying if there is a doll like that, yeah, you can find subscribers, right? And in thousands, millions.
Absolutely, absolutely. They will
Yeah,
sell like, I
yeah,
mean, hotcakes. I know that because looking at even the comment section on social media,
yeah,
and the fact that Indians are one of the highest. Just talking about India because yeah,
yeah, sure.
Indians are one of the highest visitors on pornographic websites. Something like that will, it'll be crazy. It'll be crazy. And
Yeah,
this is, yeah,
yeah. So you also asked about progenies and stuff. So I want to tell you that the technology has arrived where
okay,
the rich can design their baby.
okay,
And so it is already arriving where they can design, they can choose which feature characteristics and traits and all they can choose from each of their DNA. And if it's not available there, they can go and ask from someone else.
yeah,
So this is already happening. So I don't know who are these people who are experimenting, but I'm telling you,
yeah,
uh, a lot of technology has already arrived. The
yeah,
commoners don't know about it.
yeah. What is your opinion about a lot of people, like you said, are experimenting with how they, want their babies to look or how they want to look? What is your opinion on, this sort of machine and human sort of interconnection, where already we see that people are not satisfied with how they look. They're putting all sorts of injections and whatnot, and there have been mishaps as well in India. I
Oh,
don't know
of
if you
course.
know about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know about it, right? So, what is your opinion on that? This kind of co-opting of machine and human race.
Yeah, so I think this book actually touches that in a very subtle and deceptive way.
Hmm.
Where, if you remember, SamVeer asks Athena, "What do you think is human?" He asks her because she thinks that she's not human. So, so I think the same question we have to pose to ourselves, and then we'll know that we are we are not who we think we are. This body is not who we are. So slowly what's going to happen is, I think, right now people are changing their looks, right? But they can design their baby, so the baby will already come, be born with great looks and whatever they need, the traits and all. But if there were to something happen like an accident where you lose a limb, you know you could probably grow it. There will be a machine part inside, but then on the outside it'll be organic, so it'll be like a hybrid kind of a thing. So slowly what's going to happen is we will be moving towards being a machine, what we call machine.
Yeah,
So slowly each part, you people already have so many parts inside them, like
yeah,
they have for their heart and stuff. I think they have
yeah,
some things in
yeah.
there.
Peacemakers. Yeah,
Yeah, pacemakers are there, and then you also have limbs also, where right now they are metallic, but then you could have organic stuff on them.
yeah,
So on the outside, I'm saying, so it'll be kind of like a hybrid thing. So I think we will be the ones who will be moving towards machines.
yeah.
That's what I think.
Absolutely. And the I wanted to ask you about. You say in the book that sexuality is the mother of all things corrupt, and I was a bit split about that. And why did you write that in the book? I just wanted to know. And uh, uh, also after that, when you write a book like this, there must be an entire evolution, your evolution, before writing this book, because it doesn't come like that overnight. So tell us about that as well. Why did you land up in the space of writing these books?
Yeah, I know I'm a little weird.
Um,
And it's
it's
because, no, I can tell you why.
yeah,
It's because I write romance, but then I am writing sexuality is the mother of all problems, and I'll tell you why. Because it's all about feeling good. It's all about pleasure, movement. We have forgotten the biological need of the body. The biological need of the body is not to have sex with 50 million people and not to think about sex all the time, but it's just to reproduce. But and I have elaborately explained that, the scenes that have happened between Athena and SamVeer and
Yes.
Victory. So I have tried to explain that very well in there. But
But I would like to tell the readers as well that the scenes here which we're talking about, it's not crass. It's very well done. That I would like to compliment you, and it's not overdone. It's not overdone. You had the opportunity though that you could overdo it easily, but you did not. So I like that in a book.
Thank you very much. Um, so yeah, I'm just saying that we have made the whole sex thing something to gain pleasure from when it is just to reproduce. So we have forgotten that. And when a relationship matures between a husband and a wife, normally we settle to a time where we don't want all this. We want different kind of stimulation from each other. At least me and my husband, we are looking for intellectual stimulations. So we that just becomes um, it just becomes ancient, that need. It just suffices, just goes away, and you can just cuddle and that's enough. So I have just tried to show that, and Samveer is bent on, he he believes that this need needs to go. And of course he defies himself. So yeah, so I think that's why I've written it, that we are against the biological. I think it is all mind related and a mental perversion that's there. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I'm not judging that way. I'm just saying it is very different from biological need. It's not biological need.
Yeah,
It's a mental perversion that we entertain.
yeah. A
Yeah.
lot of people say that about religion also. I mean, it's I mean, there whatever facet of life, whatever it could be, religion, it could be, intimacy, it could be other things, but if it's overdone, if it's over glorified, then it loses its meaning over time. I feel that. So yeah,
Yeah, I
what's your
mean, of course, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. If you know, the book starts with a quote: taboos, belief, and pretense are a
yes,
projection
yes,
of
yes,
fear, and
yes,
religion is one of the beliefs.
yeah,
Our society has unsaid and unwritten guidelines given to us, and by a handful of families, I believe, that control the whole societal narrative. Uh, they hoard 90% of the wealth and the natural resources, not just man-made wealth, but the natural resources also. The rest of us abide by these unsaid and unwritten guidelines to keep each other in check, and fight for the 10% of whatever is left. and and anything outside of that guideline is obviously a taboo. So you don't, you if you don't sign up for a certain belief system, you would be kicked out. You would be kicked out. You have to sign up for something. That's why I call this book I Subscribe. I'm sorry to say that so many times, but we keep subscribing to ideas just
yeah.
to fit in. And that's what it is about. And that's my take.
Let's show them the book once more on that count,
Sure.
because we are here.
Yeah.
We're here to sell the book, man.
Yes.
It's as clear as possible.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
I'm
not?
a really bad salesman, but thank you so much for helping me.
Why not? Why not? Why not? I always tell authors, don't shy away. There's many authors, because see, authors are so um they are enigmatic people anyways, because they are writing weird stuff on paper, and it ends up becoming big when it all comes together,
Yeah.
and they are mostly in their own world. And what you called as weird, I don't think so it's weird. It's just that you guys are way ahead of other people, I believe. And yeah, why not say it out loud? Okay, any recommendations from your end, because it's the Booknerds podcast, and our readers also. Of course, this book is a recommendation, but any other recommendation? What do you read? I'm very curious, because Your inspirations are so, widespread in some ways.
So I obviously have read Upanishad and Vedas.
Okay.
So
Okay.
translations, of course, not the original script because I can't read Sanskrit. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
can. But yeah, the translations and a lot of things get lost in translation. But I think I've got most of it. So, um, but I do not read sci-fi books. I want to make that clear. But yes, I have this book that I want to. Okay, so I'll say it's yeah, it's a taste of life by Mahesh Bhatt. It tells you how to be honest to yourself. You can lie to the world, but at least don't lie to yourself. So even if you like some things that the society doesn't accept, don't lie to yourself. We all fool the others by selling them ideas. We do that with sophistication, of course, because we are competing, and so we must fool them into buying our idea so that we get ahead of them. So our point of view, that's what we are doing all the time. So I think this book is really great, A Taste of Life by Mahesh Bhatt.
Okay.
So yeah,
Amazing. Don't lie to yourself. That's such a big thing, right? It's so hard to do. It's so
it's so
hard to
hard.
do.
It's so hard because we have to lie to ourselves also so that we appear convincing when lying to the others.
Yes, absolutely. And I was browsing through some books in a bookstore
Yeah.
last month,
Hmm.
and this couple was very intrigued about manga books, and they were like, I was holding one, so they came up to me and said, "Okay, do you read this?" Because I'm like, I'm 40 and I'm not supposed to do all this shit, right? So they come up to me and do you really read this? Who they are for? Maybe they were searching for some books for their children, and I
Yeah.
was like, I suggested them that no, it's not for 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds. But they're like, do you read this? Actually, yes, I read this at this age. I'm a comic book buff, and I'll always be, even at 60, 65, I'll be this way. So why kind of try to fit in? I don't care.
No, there's no need. You should own up to whatever you like, whatever your natural bent is. That's what I think. And if it is not acceptable in society, you'll be kicked out. So you'll know when you need to pretend so that you can fit in. So so yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Would you like to, at the end, of course, this book is available on Amazon.com, is it?
Yes, it is.
And is it available in India on Amazon?
Yes, it is. It's available
Okay.
everywhere. Just the paperback, I think, is not. But
Okay.
I'm trying to get it done with a publisher that can make it available. But yeah, you can still order it. So
Okay.
yeah.
We'll put the links in the comments, and guys, do read the book and do let me your. It's a crazy book in so many ways, and do read the book and let us know in the comments what did you feel about it. Do you have questions? You will have questions, that's for sure. And yeah, do tell the author as well. Would you like to say out your handle if you are on social media? Uh, yeah, would you like to say that? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it's pbflower underscore 21 on Instagram. So just go ahead and
Okay.
follow me there. Yeah.
Perfect. And the question which I totally forgot. What
Oh,
about this pen name? What about this pen name? And what's your real name for everyone? Because yeah.
yeah. So sure. Yeah. So my pbflower is, of course, my pen name. P stands for Pandey and B
Okay.
stands for Bhatt. So
Okay.
Pandey is my given last name and Bhatt is my married last name.
Okay. Okay.
Of course, I never took my husband's last name. It wasn't a step towards feminism, but I never
Yeah.
got around to it. Okay, so
Okay.
that's my PB Flower is my pen name, and Suman Pandey is my real name.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Suman, for doing this, and love the book. I think, would you like to guide the readers a bit about where should they start and then come up to this? Or, of course, it's a standalone book, but wouldn't it be better if they could perhaps, get into other books as well?
Yeah, I mean, as mentioned earlier, I Subscribe is a standalone novel, but it is an offshoot of one chapter that I wrote in my All Kal Nun trilogy. It's human eradication, that chapter. But yeah, in All Kal None, you will get to know many more characters from this book. SamVeer's parents actually are in that book. So yeah, All Kal None, I think it's a great place to start. But you can still read, and there's a glossary in the end where you can know where how these characters are related to other books if you choose to just read this one.
So I would suggest that you go to the glossary first and then figure out, because it will be easier for you to read. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this. And I had such a great time reading the book and talking to you. And yeah, look forward to so many reading the other books as well. I look forward to that. And yeah, keep doing what you do. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rohan. Thanks.
Yeah.